Hey everybody, I'm back. I know you're excited. I'm excited too. It's Friday. Get yourself in a comfy spot. Get yourself a snack. Maybe wash your hands. I haven't done that. Get yourself a nice beverage. Cold one, hot one. I don't care. Lukewarm. It could be lukewarm. I'm all right with that. Whatever you like to drink, get it together. Get yourself in a comfy spot. And let's get to talking about some shop updates. We got a few of them this week. Now, this week we'll be talking about some cars, and we'll also be talking about our poor lighting situation in here and a quite kingly gift that we received this week from one of our customers who is a gentleman and a scholar. And that gift will help us out quite a bit with this dark, dungeony lighting situation here. So, let's get to it. Let's start chit-chatting, shall we? Let's kick this off with the Defender. I know you guys are excited. Now, I heard today, because Christian called the owner of the Defender today, I heard today he is a little bit laid up. He's a little bit out of the game right now, okay? He had, I think Christian told me he had some back surgery. So, we wish him the best. Speedy recovery, sir. Get back out there. Stop being a lazy butt. I don't care what the doctor told you. Get off your butt. Let's get back to work, okay? No, really, get better. I'm not poking and prying, but back surgery, I know people have gone through it. It's not fun. Speedy recovery, sir. Speedy recovery. Your truck's in good hands, though. She's got some brakes on her now. I mean, it had brakes before. It had what people will call brakes on it before. I wouldn't use them, but it had them. Now it's got fresh stopping power shoes. Let's get in there. Let's take a peek, shall we? Ooh. So nice, right? Bling. I want to put a sparkle effect in there. I'm not going to put a sparkle effect in there. I ain't got time for that. Just imagine like a ding, just imagine that happening, okay? So, what do we got going on here? We got new rotors, new calipers, new pads, fancy new stainless steel brake lines. I approve. Also, while we were in here, because in order to do rotors, you got to take this hub off. So, when you take the hub off, you get to check the wheel bearings. They were toast. They were absolute garbage up here. We did all new wheel bearings up front, repacked, new grease, new seals, new everything. She's right as rain. Now out back, she's just as fun. Okay? See the glowing light moving along with me? Boop. Even shinier. We got you gold calipers because, gold is for the honeys, dough is for the I don't know though. I'm not hip and cool. Green is for the honeys, gold is for the bunnies? I don't know I'm not hip, okay? They're gold though, all right? And that's pretty cool. New rotors, new calipers, new pads, and there's a stainless steel brake line that's going to go in. It's not in yet, but it's going to go in there somewhere. It's back in there, okay? Cool. Anyway, we also got together the parts list for this rig. Boy, window seals are expensive. Holy shnikes, everybody. It's just rubber. Maybe I ordered the platinum edition window seals. I don't know. We always shop for the cheapest price that we can possibly find that's from known suppliers. I'm not going to AliExpress and ordering your window seals, okay? Not doing it. Known suppliers, boy, they're pricey. But we shopped it, okay? We shopped it around. We got window seals on the way for all the windows except the door windows and the very back door window, okay? Because the windows and the doors are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. And the back door window is also fine. I don't think those ever leak. I'm pretty sure that they're just glued in forever, okay? So, that will help with curtailing the spore growth that's going on. That's very Last of Us inside this truck right now, okay? If you're not watching Last of Us, go check it out. It's a good show. I like it. Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian himself, guys. I am advertising for HBO, and I'm not getting paid for it. Anyway, it's very moldy in there, and maybe that's why I've got a respiratory thing right now. I don't know, but it's rough. Okay, and new seals are going to nip that. Well, it's going to stop it from happening. It's not going to nip it in the ass because you got to get rid of the stuff that's in the truck, but it's gonna keep it from happening some more. That's a plus. We like that a whole lot. Still haven't gotten that intake tube yet. A little bit pissed about that one. We'll get it, though. We'll get it. And we don't need it yet. I mean, she's got no tires. No wheels and tires. Like, it's not driving anywhere. We're fine. Speaking of wheels and tires, that's the next purchase for this rig. Tires. They are looking a little rough. That's clean shaven. Gillette, man. Mach 5. Clean shaven. That's some bald tires right there. They're also very cracked. So we're replacing them. We'll get together a list of some tire options in the same size. Maybe I'll squeak in a couple that are a little bit bigger. You know, just for the cool factor. But we'll get some tires together, and they're BF Goodrich ATs, BFGs, baby. They're ATs. They're the old AT pattern. I think there's a new AT pattern. I think there's been 2 new AT patterns since these tires were made. Anyway, we'll get some fresh ones on the way once we send some options over to the owner so that he can pick. Because tires are important, guys. They're important. They make the look. It's a make or break look for a lot of these things, okay? If you put the wrong tires on something like this, it just ruins it. So we'll make sure that we get a proper looking Land Rover tire that's not going to break the bank, break your back, or look ridiculous, okay? That's what we're going for. So we'll get those over to the owner once we do our tire shopping, get that stuff together for him. But the second parts order is on its way. On to the Triumph. I know that doesn't quite look, if you know what a Triumph TR3 looks like without its nose on, then you knew it was a Triumph. But that, I promise you guys, is a Triumph TR3. You've seen it before. Go back and watch the other videos. And while you're at it, subscribe to the videos. All right? Like this one. Go back, watch the other ones. Like all of those too. Leave some comments. Tell me how bad I'm doing at this, okay? I am not a pro at this. I am terrible at it. But I got to share with the world the information of what we do here. That's the goal of this. So, on to this Triumph project. She's been moving along. It's little small steps. That's what happens when you get into this kind of zone here. 2 things that I've been doing on this thing this week. I did a little bit more welding. There was some stuff down here at the bottom of the firewall that needed to be taken care of. I took care of that myself. I told Christian I was going to do that anyway. It wasn't that he missed it. It was that I had already told him, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. So I took care of the lower firewall stuff that needed to be taken care of. I also took the accelerator pedal, which was still in the firewall because it would not come out. I got that out finally, which is good. I don't want to paint that car color. I don't want the accelerator to be yellow. Okay, a light yellow, but a yellow nonetheless. Didn't want that. All right, now everybody knows that yellow means speed, but not this yellow. This is a classy yellow. Okay, this is a classy yellow. We're going to be painting this thing. She's going to be a beaut. So after I did my welding and grinding on the bottom half of the firewall there to take care of some things that we needed to fix, I went to town on smacking a dent. Hacking a dent? No. Smacking a dent out of this inner fender here. She had a little bit of crumply on her. She was a little wavy. She still is just a little, just teensy bit wavy. So I got a little bit more work to do. It is far easier to stretch metal out than it is to shrink it back together, okay? And when you put a dent in something, you got to shrink that metal back in, and it takes a lot more time. So we're getting it. While I worked on that, I also sanded a lot of the engine bay. Now, we're sanding the engine bay. We're going to be sanding the trunk area and maybe the wheel wells, okay? So the next step on this is we're going to pick a color. Now, we pick a color by doing this. Christian and I know an idea of what the owner wants in terms of colors. It is a pale yellow color. Some would say it's a primrose. Some would say it's a pale primrose. Some would say it's a pale yellow. Some would say it's a creamy yellow, a yellowy Old English. I don't know. You can put a name on that color however you want, but it is in the yellow spectrum, okay? And it's a good color. It's a solid, good color. It's going to look good on this car. What Christian and I are going to do is we're going to pick out 4 colors that are close to the sample color that we have been given, which is a picture of another TR3 in a pale yellow. So we'll pick out 4 colors that are kind of close to that color. We then do spray out cards for the owner, and the owner will take those cards and he will pick from those 4 colors, and he'll say he either likes one of those, or 2 of those, or 3 of those, or he says, I don't like any of these, or he says, well, this one's close, but it needs a little bit more zing, pop, pizzazz, zest, or whatever it is they put in paints these days. I think it's gold because last time I bought paint, whew, that was a lot of money. Anyway, we'll do some spray out cards for him. Get that squared away. He'll pick a color. He'll finalize a color. Then we'll get some U-Pole Raptor mixed up in that color along with some of the paint colors. But before we can do any kind of color, we got to sand down some areas on the car. We're going to do a primer sealer up front here in the engine bay. We're going to do a primer sealer in the trunk area. We're going to do a zinc primer on the bottom side because that's going to help fight that corrosion bug, guys. I know, we're putting a U-Pole Raptor. We're going to have some chip preventative, some chip guarding underneath. But if by chance some bit of paint does chip away, we want to have something that's really good at fighting back against rusting, and that is a zinc-based primer. Those are really, really good against corrosion. So we'll put a zinc-based primer on the underside. We'll do just a primer sealer in the engine bay. The debate between Christian and I, and really it shouldn't be between Christian and I, it should just be what the customer wants to do, but we haven't actually presented this to him yet. Do we put U-Pole Raptor in the wheel wells? My thought is yes. Christian's thought is no. Both have good points. There's not like a right or a wrong here. So chip guard in here is going to keep stone chips from, well, chipping the paint. That's what U-Pole Raptor is. It's kind of a truck bed liner. It's a chip-resistant type coating. However, it has a grainy texture to it when it's done. It's not super glossy like the Healy over there, okay? Like this Healy over here, super glossy. It's not going to be glossy like that. It's going to have a little bit more of a satin sheen to it. So it's noticeable that it's not glossy when you peek through the wire wheel or when you peek through the wheel opening. Christian likes to peek through that wheel well. He's a wheel well peeker, him. He's been one for years. I've tried to stop him, guys. I really have. I said, hey, you need to go to rehab for this. You should stop peeking in wheel wells. It's kind of gross. You're going to be put on a list. You just can't stop. So he peeks through those wheel wells. He likes to see glossy. He likes to see the sparkle and shine, the gloss. I agree. I also like to see that too. However, this car is going to be driven. Not a show queen. This isn't something that's going to sit in a museum. It's going to be driven. And we already know it's going to be driven on roads. They're going to have gravel, okay? I want to protect this car as much as I can. My thought is U-Pole in the wheel wells. The other benefit to that is, and this is really more for me than anybody, I don't have to sand that, okay? I got to sand this because it's got to look nice. That's going to be one uniform grainy texture in there. It's good. It's good the way it is. I'll probably still sand it, but anyway, that's where it's at. I'm going to keep on sanding while we do our color pickouts and stuff like that, and while we wait for paint to happen. Once that's done, we'll get to it in a second because there's a plan. Once that thing is, jams are painted, the inside's done, the underside's done, the wheel wells, the engine bay, all that stuff's done. The only thing that won't be painted on that are the exterior body panels, because this whole thing's coming off of that cart and going back onto its chassis, which is over there in another room. And it'll be permanently affixed to its chassis. Now, I'll get back to that in a second. Let's move on to the Austin Healey here real quick. You'll notice it's still here. Did not go back to the paint shop, mainly because we didn't have time. I just didn't have time to take it over to the paint shop this week. I've set it up so it's going to go back next week. I'll drop it off. It'll get its rectifications. That's the nice way of saying it. Okay, I'm going to call it. It's going over to the paint shop to have rectifications done. Okay, not to have screw ups fixed, not to have fuck ups fixed. Pardon my language. But to have rectifications. That's what BMC would have called it. They had a whole area at the end of the assembly line called the rectification area. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it rectifying. Something about a rectum. I'm not sure. Anyway, that'll go up there next week. With this out of my way, I'm going to get that thing out. Now, this thing is actually pretty close on its metalwork. This is an MGA. It's been here a while, okay? The owner, I don't know, maybe he may totally forget about this car. I don't know. I know I don't. I see it every day, and I just long for it to be finished, as I'm sure he and his wife do as well. So, I want to get this back out and get some more metal work done. Once that TR3 comes off of its body jig over here, once it's off that jig, spinning you around again. That car is going to go on that jig. At least the body tub's going to go on that jig. The chassis, the engine, all of that stuff are done on that car already. It's been done for a while. We're going to get that up on the body jig, and we will probably do all of the paint work on that jig with this car. Now, the reason being, MGAs are a lot more of a solid automobile when they're off their frame than Triumphs are. Triumphs are all wiggly and wobbly when they're not on their chassis. MGs are solid as a rock. Well, at least MGAs are. Not all MGs, but MGAs are. Anyway, that means we can move on and get progress done with that one. Now, there's a 900,000-pound gorilla in the room, and it's right behind me here. This was our kingly gift from our lovely customer, gentleman who owned the Jag XJS. He brought us a Toyota forklift with only 11,000 hours on it. Now, you're just getting that thing broken in at 11,000 hours, okay? What a gift, right? This is a phenomenal gift. And it came with a man cage. This is going to be a phenomenal help to us doing these stupid lights. We can't thank him enough for that. That thing is a dream. We got it up and running the other day. It's great. Everything works. Everything functions as it should. It's wonderful. Can't thank him enough. That's going to be a huge godsend to a lot of things that we do around here. Not only the lighting, but also moving that big old engine around in that box there. It's going to be nice to have a forklift to do all of that. So, that's it so far. Now, there's no update on the Lagonda right now. You'll notice there's no Defender 110 in the shop yet for its engine swap. The engine I just showed you in the box over there. Not here yet, but we'll probably be giving the owner of that Defender a call. It's his wife's truck, if I remember correctly. So I'm sure she's going to be excited. She's been wanting that thing to have a lot more power for a while. So I've already been in contact with the engine swap company that makes all the brackets and adapters and stuff for it. They're going to be super helpful. I don't want to say it's going to be an easy job. You know, I've never done an engine swap that went as quickly as everybody says engine swaps should go. Maybe that's me. I don't know. I've done a lot of them. They always take way longer than you're told they do. So, but I have high hopes. I have high hopes for this Cummins one because there's been a bunch of people that have done these already. So, it's not like the Lotus project where there's like, yeah, there's been a couple done, but that's it. So, anyway, that's all I got, guys. That's it for me this week. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I will see you again next week. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay warm out there if you're in a cold climate. And I'll see you next week, all right? Bye.